Wow, a lot of rules, it seems to me. It's certainly not a keto program. It's not something you'd want to do. Hi, Dr. Eric Westman here. Should you do the OPTAVIA program? But first, be sure to check out my new pamphlet. It's called 5 Things You Need to Know About Cancer and Metabolic Disease. See it in the link in the description below. I was sent a video of a review of the OPTAVIA or OPTAVIA program. It's by Coach Viva. And so it's a review of the program, and the coach is a influencer who's had their own success and reviewing another program.
To sign up for OPTAVIA, you have a phone call with an OPTAVIA coach to determine which plan to follow, set your weight goals, and familiarize yourself with the program. Then you order all your meals from your coach's website. There are 2 weight loss plans your OPTAVIA coach may put you into. The first one is Optimal Weight 5 and 1 plan. This is the most popular plan. In it, you have 6 meals per day, of which 5 are prepackaged meals you buy, what OPTAVIA calls fuelings, and 1 meal they teach you how to cook for yourself, which OPTAVIA calls lean and green meals. The second plan is Optimal Weight 4 and 2 and 1 plan. This is for those who need more calories or flexibility in food choices. This plan consists of 4 packaged meals, 2 homemade meals, and 1 snack per day. On both of these weight loss plans, you eat about 800 to 1,000 calories per day, which consists of 80 to 100 grams of carbs per day, at least 72 grams of protein per day, and about 33 grams of fats per day. So it is a low.
I see. So this is a program where they're going to send you most of the food. I assume there's some expense to that. And the food falls into packaged meals, and then you make a homemade meal. And then it's going to end up with about 800 to 1,000 calories per day, which is known as a very low calorie type of program. And the macronutrients look like 80 to 100 grams of carbs, 33 grams of fat, 72 grams of protein, which is a low carb but not very low or a keto type of program. So this is a classic low calorie diet, which if you follow it, it will work unless you have a really, really slow metabolic rate. But I would say that this is a reasonable thing to do so far, knowing that you have to purchase the products, and many people end up coming to me saying it became too expensive, so they stopped doing something like this. But so far it's looking okay, and not everyone needs to be on a keto diet to lose weight. Of course, the metabolism is different on a keto diet, but this is what would be categorized as a low calorie type of diet program.
So it is a low calorie, low carb, and low fat diet. Now, what's in the packaged foods, aka fuelings? Besides the expected bars and powders, they also include the usual favorites like pancakes, poppers, noodles, etc., but all with ingredients substituted to meet the low calorie, low carb, and low fat targets. What's allowed in your homemade lean and green meals? Let's be real, you're probably more interested in what's not allowed. So these are fried foods, refined grains, butter, coconut oil, solid shortening, whole fat dairy, alcohol, sugar-sweetened beverages, fruit, whole grains, legumes, and starchy vegetables. You can also add 1 optional snack after it's approved by your coach. Example.
Wow, a lot of rules, it seems to me. But there's someone who coaches you, wow, from my perspective, this is difficult to teach and perhaps to follow. The foods that were shown are packaged and I suppose are tasty. My approach, of course, is to use real food and have you learn to either prepare or purchase foods on your own without someone sending them to you. But all of those no's that you can't have is very interesting. I would prefer a simpler system so far.
Of approved snacks are 3 celery sticks, half a cup of sugar-free gelatin, or half a cup of handful of nuts. And on both of these plans, it's also recommended that you spend 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week. They also include tips and inspirations via text messages, community forums, weekly support calls, and an app for meal reminders to track food and activity. Once you reach your goal weight, you're put on a 6-week transition to maintenance phase where 2 things happen. happen. One, your calories are gradually raised until you get to 1550 calories per day. And the second is some foods that were a no-no are introduced back to your diet. These include fruit, low-fat or fat-free dairy, whole grains, legumes, and starchy vegetables. And at the end of the 6 weeks, you go into their optimal health 3 and 3 plan, where you continue to buy 3 packaged foods and have 3 lean and green meals or homemade meals per day for life. Besides these 3 main plans, Optavia also has specialized plans for nursing mothers, older adults, teens, diabetics, and those with gout. However, it's unclear if the plans are safe for any of these groups of people.
The first pro is that it's very easy to follow. If you're someone who doesn't have time to cook and just wants meals delivered, then Optavia makes it very easy for you. Optavia is in fact owned by Medifast, which is a meal replacement company, so creation and delivery of packaged food is in fact their main business.
The second pro is if you want quick short-term weight loss, you're very likely to see it. An 800 to 1,000 calories per day goal is below the minimum recommended amount for both men and women. Given that large calorie deficit you're in, if you can stick to it, it's not uncommon to see 2 to 4 pounds of weight loss per week.
The first con is, as Richa mentioned, the 800 to 1,000 calorie a day target is unsafe for everyone unless your doctor tells you to do it. That amount of calories does not give you enough room for all the nutrients and minerals your body needs. You're also not allowed many fruits and vegetables, which further significantly limits the nutrients and minerals you are consuming. The longer you stay on this low-calorie diet, the more you'll notice your hair thinning, deterioration of skin appearance, and fatigue. In fact, there is the famous Minnesota starvation experiment that ran for 12 months on 36 men who, for those 6 months, ate 1/2 of the calories they needed for maintenance. Beyond developing a gaunt appearance, their strength, stamina, metabolism, and mental clarity all plummeted. They reported fatigue, irritability, depression, and apathy. Now, not all of you have a maintenance calories of 2,000 calories per day, so you aren't chopping your calories in half on Optavia. But if you've been wondering why some reviews report more hunger than others, it's because of 2 reasons. First, their maintenance calories were likely much higher than 1,000 calories a day, so they were more hungry when suddenly deprived versus someone who was, say, at 1,600 calories per day maintenance. The shorter and closer to your goal weight you already are, the easier Optavia would be. Second, their starting point may have been obese. When you're obese, you can rely on consuming your own fat stores for a long time.
I think the main point here is that your results will vary depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But so far, what I see with Optavia is that you purchase the foods, the products, they get sent to you, and it seems reasonable. It's a low-calorie type of program. It's not a low-carb or keto type of program. It's not something you'd want to do forever. It's not designed to be something to do forever. It sounds like it's getting you to a goal. And then you need to learn how to eat real foods, I assume, without those products. So, you know, I think in general, it seems like a reasonable approach to use. It's not the one that I prefer. I prefer something that's a little easier and you don't have to send away for products. Although that reminds me, some of my patients do send away for food that has a meal delivery service that has a keto option. And sometimes those folks can get keto-friendly foods without the whole worry about getting the calories and getting the nutrition right. So I guess on balance, I would approve this with some reservation, and that it's not the only way to do it. It's certainly not a keto program, but it would be something to consider if it seems right for you. I hope that's helpful, and if you like this, please click like and ring the notification bell and send it to a friend. This is a grassroots effort. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and check out AdaptYourLifeAcademy.com.